thank you for being with us. So can you tell us your name and a bit about what you do?
My name is Yusuf Moazu, and I work with the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority at the Human Resource and Corporate Administration Department.
Okay, awesome. And could you tell me a bit about what you've learned over the past week on the course?
Like you know, the course is about strategic leadership for optimized performance in uncertain times. And I will say I've learned a lot in the last 4 or 5 days. And this is largely due to the faculty that have been drawn for the program, and we have benefited from the we have benefited from the richness of knowledge and experience of the resource persons, and I believe what I've learned from the program will provide me with the necessary skills and competencies to be able to manage my team much better when I return to my duty post.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
Good morning, thank you for joining us today. Can you just say your name and a bit about what you do?
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Amos Oliver Piribu. I work for the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, one of the oil and gas regulatory bodies created by the Petroleum Industry Act 2021. That's principally set up to monitor the emergence of a more viral midstream and downstream sector in the Nigerian oil and gas industry. Yeah, and I'm a manager in a unit called Hydrocarbon Processing Plants, Installation and Transport Infrastructure. I oversee midstream processing businesses, basically along the regulatory value chain. Thank you.
Wow, you're doing so much. That's honestly great. So, can you tell us a bit about what you think you've learned over the past week and how you might apply that when you return?
Yeah, so coming onto this program, I had a lot of expectations, drawing from my background as a manager for midstream and downstream processing and transport infrastructure. And the title of the entire program, which seeks to impart to managers necessary skills in managing very turbulent and indeed volatile situations at workplace. I was really very enthusiastic, and I could tell, and very well can tell right now, that the quality of delivery, especially from the resource persons that had come on to lecture us on this program, had been quite impressive. One of the things I think I can very much tell with the kinds of deliveries we've had is the delivery is more of the experiences of the persons that had come on board. These are resource persons that had years and years of experience, experiences that you can't buy off the shelf. Some of them are ambassadors, some are professors. Some of them have been in the corporate world. Their successes in their various endeavors, captains of industries. They have been there, done that, and are here doing that same on us. And so it's been an uphill movement all along, in the line of the knowledge and indeed the input and the content that they had passed across to us. So I must say that I've actually gained a whole lot. It's going to help very much on my job schedule. Just currently, before we round up today, there's a session going on, that seeks to help us in managing very volatile situations, and we're on it. And I believe that me and my colleagues on this program would would have very good tales at the end of it.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Can you please tell me your name and what you do?
Engineer Yege Ebel. I am a regulator. I work for the Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority in Nigeria as a regulator of the oil and gas industry.
That's great, thank you. So could you share a bit about your experience and what you've learned so far over the past week?
Well, this course has been quite informative and we've learned so much. Again, the title is Strategic Leadership for Optimized Organizational Performance in an Era of Uncertainty. And we do have a lot of uncertainty in the country. Back in the country, we're trying to get a strategic stock. We're trying to get a fund that should grow the industry, and this course has enabled us to know how to manage the changes that has happened with the amalgamation of 3 regulatory bodies into one. With this course, you should be able to come up with strategy in putting policies to develop our strategy stock and to grow the industry as required by the PIA. I've learned about leadership qualities, and change management, and so many other things.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing your experience.
You're welcome.
Hi, thank you for joining us today. Can you please tell me your name and what you do?
My name is Shehu Abdullahi. I'm the Manager Treasury, Nigeria Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Abuja headquarters.
Wow, thank you. So can you also say a bit about your experience and what you've learned over the past week?
It is a lovely experience. From the very first day I came in for this program, I've learned a lot. From the outing we had, I learned a lot. As a strategic leader, I've learned a lot. I'm a better person, I'm better equipped with my technical skills, my experience in the office, and what I've gotten here. I think I'll be a better leader.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. Can you please tell me your name and what you do?
My name is Ngozi Nwankwo. I work with the Nigerian Midstream Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Nigeria. I'm a chemical engineer and I work with the hydrocarbon processing plants, installations and pipeline infrastructures directorates.
Okay. That's awesome, thank you. And so can you just share a little bit about your experience and what you believe you've learned over the past week?
Well, I must congratulate TechSem for the training because the training has been quite insightful. It has provided a knowledge that we need to succeed as leaders. I've learned so much on, especially working in an organization that is a new organization. NMDPRA is a new organization, and it requires this kind of training so that we can push it forward and to success. So I've learned how to turn surprises into opportunities. You know, the launching of the PIA, the signing of the PIA into law came with a lot of surprises. Now, rather than focus on the surprises, I'm going to go home looking at how to turn them into wonderful opportunities. That is one thing. I've also learned how to deal with stakeholders because they are very important part of the system. If you're not happy, then the system cannot function very well. So we have been taught in the course things we need to do to make sure that it happens. There are lots of things that I have learned. I only wish I have more time to talk. We have learned a lot, influencing, how to be an influencing leader, how to negotiate, how to communicate effectively, how to encourage people working under you by what you do and what you don't do, and then how to focus on the goal of the organization, because every organization has a goal. If you're not aligning with the goal, you may not be able to contribute your own part. So I have learned even more than what I have said. I wish I have more time. Maybe I would have said more. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience. Hi, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
Yeah, my name is Adeyemo Adekunle Paul, Kunle Adeyemo for short. I am the state coordinator in Oshogbo Field Office of NMDPRA. So I coordinate all the activities in the field that has to do with services and operations.
Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. So, can you share a bit about your experience and what you've learned over the past week?
Yeah, the program is so enriching. Despite the fact that I've attended so many courses of this nature, I am more exposed this time around into cleaner knowledge and the newest information has to do with new technology added with new knowledge of strategic management. Most especially is that of 4 quadrants, and the way it was presented by James Watt, it puts me to understand the 4 classes of people, and I was able to find where I belong to among the people.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experience. Hi, thank you for joining us. Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
Thank you for having me. My name is Seyefa Gina Osanibi. I work as a manager in the Corporate Communications and Stakeholders Management Department.
Thank you. So can you also explain a bit about your experience and what you feel you've learned over the past week?
It's been quite exciting. I really liked the influencing and negotiating lectures we had, and leading in a volatile environment. Volatile does not really mean like the environment. It also needs to do with your staff. You might have some staff that maybe might prove difficult or something, so you really need to know how to manage the staff in occasions like that.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to make any other comments about your experience?
I think attending a TechSem training is always a delight for me. It has actually broadened my horizon. The facilitators are well experienced. So I give it up to TechSem.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. Thank you for joining us. Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
My name is Akinwale Abdurrahov Abolani. I'm the head of IT, infrastructure, and business management.
Wow, thank you. Okay, so can you share some of your experience over the past week and a bit about what you've learned and what you've liked?
I've learned a lot. The course is so insightful. It's brought out the in-depth knowledge about strategy, strategic executions, implementations, especially during the process of volatility, ambiguous, uncertainty, and the rest. The course is an eye-opener. It challenges our curiosity. How strategy can fail, how you can mitigate the failure, how you can guide against failure during the implementation. So the course is so timely and insightful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing. Hi, thank you so much for joining us today. Please can you tell me your name and what you do?
All right, so thank you for inviting me. My name is Olubunmi Bolanle Adeyemi. I work with the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and currently I am in charge of the health, safety, environment and community for the industry there in Lagos. So that's just me at the point, yeah.
Thank you so much. Okay, can you now share a bit about your experience over the past week and what you might have learned or liked?
Oh, great. yeah, my assessment so far, it's just like I'm in a different world entirely. I've been attending trainings, and sincerely, I want to say this is a new world of great ideas, great things, world class indeed. Of course, I've attended quite a number of, when you look at the so-called highly rated world institutions, I tell you, this is second to none. It's been practical, you don't ever have to look into your maybe jottings for you to remember that's which all that I've learned. It's been a great experience indeed. Yeah, thank you. So in the area of when you look at strategy, it's right, that's topic that is so interesting to me, as a person, and I've come to see that yes, things evolve every day. The strategies have come by here. I would say I've not really been in that arena before. Have learned a lot when you look at approaches, especially when you're talking of this VUCA environment. You look at when you look at the digital space, and then we're looking at the artificial intelligence. You look at various approaches, in actually executing, plans that you can't even imagine. So I'm beginning to see things from a different perspective entirely, and that, no doubt, I'll take back to my office, and I believe that I'm going to have great impact on the industry at large. So, and then when you look at the bonding has been great. The what we have put in place as in the methodology, I would rather say, would I call myself to be? I think I'm in between. I'm not an extrovert, but then I've seen myself to say, yeah, you can do it, and then you see yourself coming out, with that great zeal, great energy, and that's what I'm going back actually with, to really put into place all that I've learned, when you look at your profession, and then we look at interacting with people, even the public as a whole. The exercise that is ongoing too as well, it's been great. I'm so energetic, and I'm ready to just give it all that I could, and to come out with great success. And I believe, yes, where we are, it's indeed a successful, outcome. Yeah, great.
Wow, what a wonderful answer. Thank you so much for sharing your experience with us.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Texum, insights that inspire, actions that change the world.